I'm Dave and this is Logan, out once again for a walk in the New Forest. Thanks for joining us. Now today we're just to the south of Burley and we're going to be doing a roughly 6-mile circular walk, starting at Whitten Pond, then heading west to explore a few things. Interesting remains of a radar mast, a burial mound, an old New Forest boundary stone, if we can find it. Then we'll be heading eastwards through some fascinatingly named woods. We'll do some more exploring at the site of an old lodge, and then back along the old disused railway track. Now I'm filming at the end of November. It's a bitterly cold day, so we're all wrapped up. But the sun is out. I think it's going to be quite glorious. Perfect conditions for walking. We've had a lot of rain recently, so there might be a bit of squelching as we go along. Okay, well, we're going to start the walk at Whitten Pond, which is just behind me here. Isn't it quite enchanting? Now, it appears on very old maps, so it's been around for a while. It's one of the largest natural ponds in the New Forest. I think Hatchet Pond is bigger, but of course that's sort of man-made insofar as in the 1800s a causeway was built to dam it up from Hatchet Stream so that it flooded the previously dug marl pits to basically provide water to drive the mill there. But the pond here, well, very popular in the summer. Oh, what a time to see it. We've got it to ourselves this morning. Interesting that there's a second pond to the east that doesn't actually show on an 1896 map. It first shows on a 1950s map, so that's relatively new. We've actually parked the car, by the way, at the Forestry Commission car park at Burbush, which is about, I don't know, 400 yards to the north, just beyond those gorse bushes. Right, let's kick on. Well, I think that's one of my favourite ponds in the New Forest. It's just a little bit chilly for Logan to do a dog dip today though, so we're going to start heading westwards. We've got a little bit of exploring to do. Well, the sun has gone in. There's a few black clouds about. It is supposed to clear up later on. I hope so, otherwise this could be a dark walk. Right, well, I've headed westwards away from the pond, crossed a little road, and if you look on a 1958 map, along this track there was something called masts, and I believe it was a transmitter that had something to do with the old radar station complex that was at Sopley, which is, what, 3.5 miles to the southwest of here. In fact, we've done a walk at Sopley and we went through the history of the radar station, so do check that one out if you haven't seen it already. Anyway, the transmitter and mast here was removed in 1977, so I was hoping to see if I could find any evidence of it. Not had a great deal of success. We have found the odd little bit of concrete in the undergrowth, and there was one big chunk that Logan found with a big wire rod going through it, but that's I think that's just about all we're going to see. Well, just a little pit stop to get our bearings. This is looking to the north, and just in the very far distance up on the ridge there, that's the old Iron Age hill fort at Burley. And then just moving along top of the ridge, yes, I can just make out the a track. That's the old Smugglers Road track. We've done a walk there, of course. Say, they're bathed in sunshine over there. And then just to the left here, which is where we're heading next, is the Durr Hill enclosure. Quite a small enclosure. I think it was planted quite recently in the 1960s. Well, we're not completely alone out here. A few New Forest ponies keeping us company. Of course, now got their shaggy winter coats. But quite good condition. Still quite a lot of vegetation around this time of year. I love the colour on that one. Ha ha! A trig point. Shows we're fairly high up here. I think this is 76 metres above sea level. And yes, we have bagged it in the traditional way. Just see how much rain we've had recently, looking at the stagnant water there on the side. Right, we've got a little bit of a trip over to the west, well, another 100 yards or so, and then we're right on the edge of the old New Forest boundary. Well folks, I was hoping to proudly show you a Bronze Age barrow, Lugden Barrow. It's about 13 metres in diameter, half a metre high. It's tricky to spot, it's hidden in gorse, but the Forestry Commission guys are doing a lot of work around here, cutting back trees. I've been having a chat with one of the lads, very friendly, but I won't disturb them, and I'll let them get on. And I was hoping to find an old boundary stone as well, but I say the chances of finding that pretty slim. So just looking ahead, this is looking over to the west, and we're right on the edge now of the old New Forest boundary. The New Forest National Park boundary is quite a little bit further on to the west. Well, even though I'm filming right at the end of November, still a lot of those autumnal colours in some of the deciduous trees, the golds, the yellows and the browns. I tell you what, this is a beautiful part of the forest for views. It's a good time of year to come as well. Very peaceful. I should point out, I think at times in the summer, parts of the area around here is restricted because of ground nesting birds, but we're okay at the moment. I'm now heading eastwards along the top of a ridge, and Some terrific views again, looking to the north. And a very, very far distance is Whitten Pond, where we started. So I don't tend to do that many walks in the winter, primarily because, well, the light's never that great for the camera. And I tend to use the winter months to do all the research. You know, a typical walk can take sometimes 4 or 5 hours, sometimes to do the research. It's as well as looking through old books and the internet, and there's so very many different sources. Of course, you have to check everything 3 or 4 times. If you're looking at a church, for example, there might be, well, you might look at the village website, the church website, Historic England, Arthur Mee's books. And where the trouble occurs is if they all come up with different dates for the same tower. That's where it pays to be a little vague when it comes to dates. Well, a little update on the route. We're sort of heading eastwards now, just crossed the Burley road. That's Crossroads. And now just about to go into some woods called Devil's Den. So we'll keep our eyes peeled. Just in a little clearing in the wood, and across what looks like the edge of perhaps a foundation of a little building. Now, whether it was World War II orientated, I don't know, but yeah, you can see the sort of rounded edge there. I'll have to look that up when I get home. Right, let's get back into this forest. Well, there's a few blackberries here, but sadly for Logan, no black ones. Although he's just going to have a quick check. Oh, I think he's found one. No, the red ones don't taste so good, do they, fella? There's one disappointed Whippet, I think. Bless him. Oh, there's one black one there. You got it? Oh, never mind. We've got some sweets later on. Oh, look at that. Can you see it? A little, is it a field mouse? It's tiny. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. So sweet. Oh, Logan's not 100% sure. I've got him on a lead, so that is so pretty. I'll see if I can get a photo of it. Oh, wasn't that little mouse cute? Unfortunately, by the time I got my camera out, it had scarpered, so hopefully it'll show up on the GoPro. Well, we made our way through Devil's Den very quickly. We didn't see the devil, I'm pleased to say. I've no idea where it got its name from. And we're going to head towards the big enclosure at Holmesley, but not going to go into it. Just to my right, there's an area called Pigsty Hill. I saw some great names around here. Somewhat confusingly, there's another hill called Pigsty Hill about a mile to the north at Burley. Well, the sun is coming out from time to time. So just on my right, there's a little wooded area called Pigsty Hat. I won't show it to you because, well, the sun will be directly in the screen. You get a lot of place names in the New Forest called something hat. Usually it's a clump of trees that, well, the deer and ponies have eaten the lower branches, and from a distance it kind of looks like a hat. So we're continuing to head eastwards towards the Holmesley enclosure, which is over there. Again, a lot of place names in the forest have got Holmes, H-O-L-M-S in them, and that means Hollywoods. Back in the old days, holly was reputedly cut and used as deer feed in the days when it was a royal hunting forest. Oh dear, looks like someone was going to throw their ball for their dog and it got caught up in those telephone wires. And oh dear, look at these clouds, and there's a spot of rain. I think we need to head into some woods. Well, hopefully you can see this because the light has gone, but we are dry at the moment. The Met Office gave it 11% chance of rain today. So we've got the Holmesley enclosure on my right and this lovely little avenue that we're walking towards Holmesley Ridge. And some lovely a mixture really of holly, the odd oak tree. Really peaceful little bit of woodland. And Logan's on squirrel alert. Well, just before we say goodbye to the Holmesley enclosure, just on the western side, if you look on an Ordnance Survey map, there's what looks like a large building, and it's just by me here, or used to be a large building. It used to be called Holmesley Lodge, and I believe at one stage it was the official residence of the Deputy Surveyor of the New Forest. But there was a bit of controversy about it because well, up to about 2008, there was a couple renting it. They'd been renting it for about 40 years. They had a wildfowl business here and they'd even built some ponds. But in 2008, they were given official notice to leave. And it looks as though the building has been demolished. And I think I read on the internet that the area is now up for sale. It's about 13 acres and planning permission for a very modern house. I think it was well over £2 million, but I'm not sure what the situation is now. But it's a shame that the old lodge isn't there anymore because I think it had a royal cipher on it. I did come across a picture of it on the internet. Ta-da! The sun's back out again. Now I've done a little detour along the top of Holmesley Ridge in a sort of westerly direction just to show you these ponds that are just behind me here. And I think it was worth the detour, don't you? It really is quite pretty. Now these are man-made ponds and they don't appear on a 1958 map. But in the late 1960s, they started extracting something called hoggin gravel here. It was a sort of sticky binding gravel that they used to make forest tracks and car parks. And they stopped extraction in the late 1980s and it's all been put back to nature. Isn't it lovely? Well, we're very much on the homeward leg now. I've dropped off Holmesley Ridge and now join the old disused railway track that used to run from Brockenhurst through to Ringwood. I won't go into any great detail. Of course, we did a walk along the track a couple of years ago. So if you haven't seen that video, do check it out. So I've actually joined the track at the old railway crossing. You can still see the old rails in the road, but the railway crossing building's long gone and been replaced by a modern building, which is now a holiday let, I believe. So we'll finish up by going back to the car park, and then I think we'll pop in the car and drive to the Holmesley tea rooms, hoping it's open, for some light refreshment. Well folks, we've come to the end of our walk. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give us a thumbs up and a like, and do leave a comment, and do check out our Facebook page, Dave's Countryside Walks. We've made it back to the Holmesley Station tea room for a cup of tea and one of these. Don't worry, I've got some treats for him. Until we meet again, thanks for watching and cheerio.